Hey, good day, everybody. Wesley Alexander, CEO of CoBiz, and we're here to spread the word about the phenomenal resources available to our entrepreneurs, to our nonprofits, to our community as a whole. When traditional funding, going to the bank, going to the credit unions, may not be effective. What are the other options that we have available? And today we're joined by Ms. Ronnette, who is the founder and CEO of SecurePath Funding. And we really want to learn, what does it mean to secure an unsecured business loan? What are some of the benefits? What are some of the challenges? What are things that we should know ahead of time so that we can be aware of how this resource can help us? So, with that said, I want to welcome you, Ms. Ronnette. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Wesley. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to be a resource here at the, CoBiz. You're doing a fantastic and amazing job and providing resources for the community. So thank you so much and allowing me to share.
I appreciate it. I know that you're doing an excellent job as well in terms of just edifying people in terms of what's available. So can you tell us, what is Secure Path Funding? Why did you create it? And what do you hope people to take away from it?
Sure. Absolutely. So SecurePath funding is a resource that allows a one or a business owner to have access to unsecured working capital. And and it provides that with many different options out there, many different connections for lender options and different products. And it
Well,
was created.
I'm sorry, Miss Burnett. What does unsecure, what does
Yeah.
working capital refer to? And then what do you mean by unsecure?
Yeah, unsecured basically, thanks for asking that. Unsecured means that it doesn't require any collateral. So you don't have to have a personal guarantee. You don't have to put up your house. You don't have to do any of those things. It's pretty much unsecured, and they're basing the loan generally just on the what the business is doing, the growth and the revenue of the business.
Gotcha. And when you say working capital, sometimes these are terms that aren't necessarily, we have a lot of entrepreneurs doing business, but they don't really hear the term working capital. So can you explain to us what working capital generally means?
Yes, it means anything that has to do with the growth of your business. It can mean you need more footsteps to come into the door, and you need funding for marketing. Okay. It can mean you need equipment. And to take your business to the next level, maybe you need that extra truck or whatever type of, maybe you need in a salon and you need an extra dryer, whatever you in type of equipment you need. It's working capital to allow your business to scale and grow and thrive. So it may be even you'd be surprised. Sometimes, business owners, they're out there doing the grind and the day-to-day things, and cash flow is king. Cash flow is important. And sometimes the cash flow is not always there. So it can mean it could working capital could also mean making payroll, you know? So it's capital that you need to make your business work.
Gotcha. So in this scenario of someone may have tried to go to a big bank like US Bank, Chase, or Wells Fargo, they may not have had success, and they come to you to obtain an unsecured loan. What is required of them?
Okay, great question. So the thing with when you have unsecured working capital with alternative lending providers like myself, what it is that what you would need is to have a business that is showing some form of revenue. So typically, we look at anywhere from 3 to 6 months of your business bank statements, and it must be a business bank statement. I had someone I had to, really share with yesterday. He didn't qualify because of the fact that he was doing everything through his personal banking. I'm like, you have to separate that. You have to have a business bank account, right? So it's going to go based on that. So when you take a look at that business bank account, 3 to 4 months, 3 to 6 months, depending on which provider. Some providers look at 6 months, some look at 3. We're talking a minimum FICO score of 500. So, which gives, a wide range of people who can qualify. Because typically, that's not usually someone who can qualify, especially for an unsecured loan, right? So it really helps the masses out there. And here's the other thing. They will allow you up to 7 negative days within a given month. So,
What does that mean?
what that means is that, and that's max. So, at the end of, let's say a day, your business you may be overdrawn, right? Because of cash flow. Everything is revolved around cash flow. So you may have a negative day, but then businesses typically, let's take a restaurant. The next day they have more customers walking to the door, more cash. So that will self-correct itself. They will allow you up to 7. Anything more than
Gotcha.
7, it's a red flag for those lenders. Okay. The other thing is that 4 to 6 deposits per month. Right. So that means that they want to see that you have multiple accounts. A restaurant is a good type of business for this model because they have customers coming in and out. Right. A salon, same thing. But someone, let's say, for example, who's a consultant, it can be a good business, but they will frown upon the fact if you have only one client. Because what happens if that one client is no longer under contract? You're virtually out of business. So they want to see a minimum of 4 to 6 income deposits, and you're not relying just on one source, right?
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
let's see, what else BKs are okay. Tax liens are okay. They are understanding the fact that, sometimes business owners run into these issues.
Gotcha.
And no taxes are even required for these type
Gotcha.
of unsecured loans. They're only going to
And
look
you
at
said,
the bank statements.
and you did mention BKs. Were you referring to bankruptcy or something else?
Bankruptcies.
Okay.
Bankruptcy.
Gotcha.
See what else I was looking at over here. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
That's pretty
And in
much
terms of,
it. Let me say this too, because this is very important. $20,000 a month in revenue, gross monthly revenue per month. Yes, only being in business for a minimum of 6 months, but you
wow.
must be having a revenue of $20,000 per month. Now, some will do as low as 15. So I'm not going to stick it we can go as low as 15,000, but it has to be coming in every month. And here's the key, having some left over. So at the end of the month, you want to have at least $1,000 left over, because at the end of the day, these are unsecured loans, right? No personal guarantee. So they want to make sure that they know how they're going to get paid back. And so they like to see revenue that's left over, not every dime spent. And then they're like, well, there's no money left. The money's coming in, but everything's going out. They like to see some left over, and that will qualify you for this type of loan.
And for this alternative access to capital model, what is the amount that a business that is generating $20,000 in revenue per month, what type of loan could they request in terms of the amount?
Well, anywhere from 5,000 up to, for $20,000 per month, more than likely 2 times the gross monthly revenue. So I would say from 5,000 to about $40,000.
Gotcha.
That's a working capital type of loan. I do term loans and also lines of credit. Okay. So you take a person who might have a 600 score, they may qualify for more of a line of credit and also more capital. So it's going to be generated not only on the revenue, but the higher your score, the better chance you have of getting more capital.
Now, some people may wonder, is this like a payday loan type of situation for businesses, or like how does it work? Is it high interest rates, and is it very I guess you can say exploitative? Like, can you share with those nuances
Yes.
with us as well?
Yes. Okay, this is great. I was having a conversation with someone who, and I'll keep him nameless because most people probably know who he is, but he's a very well-known person that is in the banking space. Okay, he's a VP at the bank. And we were talking because, time to time, he'll send me people who he can't get qualified over to see what I can do. Now, some of the loans we're talking about, a working capital loan, take someone who has like a 550 credit score. Let's be honest, the terms are not going to be the greatest. I mean, let's just, put it out there on the table. And rightfully so. because they're taking a look at the credit. Everything is derived by credit in life, period, when you're talking about financials, right? So when it comes to a 550, years ago, you wouldn't have had access to any type of capital. But now you have these alternative lenders come and say, okay, we're going to give you some money and allow you to have this access to this capital. However, they're going to be at credit card rates. They really are. They're going to be high interest loans. But this is what makes what I do different, because if it's going to help your situation, allow you to be able to keep the doors open as opposed to not having anything, let's go ahead and get this loan. But I use it as a short term, like a Band-Aid. This is not something you want to be in long term. Why? Because you're going to pay so much for this loan the longer you're into it. So what we do is this. Let's go ahead and keep the doors open. Yes, you're going to pay top dollar for this loan. However, what we're going to do is get you started with my credit partners, because I have a credit partner who does what they call credit sweeping. It's a very aggressive form of fixing your what is called credit repair. Okay. Very aggressive. So you're going to start seeing changes in 60, 90, 120 days, right? Gotcha. So let's go ahead and start working on that. And the nice thing about it, it's very affordable. I have seen people who have came to me who were paying $2,500 a month, what my guys can do for $99 a month.
Understand.
Right? So let's go ahead and get you involved with that. We're going to get that credit score raised. And in the meantime, what we're going to do when it's raised, we're going to circle back and maybe get you a line of credit, get you a term loan, get you out of that loan. So now you can have a rate, terms, as well as payments that's much more comfortable, and also a loan that is much more favorable than this high interest rate loan. But you have to start somewhere, right? Yeah, because a lot of those loans have kept the doors open for a lot of people.
I understand.
Industry that I'm in, there's a lot of predatory lending going on as well. And I'm not afraid to say it. And because I sleep good at night, because I have vetted my partners to make sure that they're doing the right thing. And if it's not something that I believe they're doing the right thing with, or my customer, not only will I not do business with them ever again, I'll make sure my customer does not sign that contract. It has to be one that makes sense, and it has to be a contract or something that's going to help the business grow, not something that puts them in a worse position. I've had that happen before, okay, where they were presented with a loan option that pretty much, in my opinion, would have took them out of business. They just could not, not only could not they not afford it, maybe they could afford it maybe for a few weeks, and then it'll have been very tough to, to handle. And so I advise that person, don't sign that paperwork. We're going to either have to keep looking, or we're going to have to find you, find you another option that will be more suitable. And we did. We were able to do that. She's now in my credit program. She's thriving. And she's now been able to get other contracts with the government, actually. So it's been an amazing thing that's happened with her. But it was this type of loan that actually kept her going and kept her in business.
That's beautiful. I love to hear those of us who are service providers hearing about the outcomes for the people that come to us in their most vulnerable moments. And so I just want to salute you for having that share.
Yes, I love it. I mean, it's a win for us all, right? I love when that happens, especially when they call you and they tell you, wow, and you can hear the relief in their voice, and you played a small role in making that happen. That's a wonderful feeling.
All day. So before we close, and this is wonderful information, how can people connect with your organization? When should people reach out to you, or submit an application? And then I have one last question after, but at least want to get those two things answered first.
Sure, absolutely. So they can reach out to me one or two ways by one of three ways: going to the website, which is securepathfunding.com. Or
right here.
Yeah, they can visit the website, and there's a way to contact me there. They can call directly on business line, which is 235-3191. Or like you show on the email there, they can email me at Ronnette@SecurePathFunding.com.
Why do you do this work?
You know, when I started to see the struggles, because I'm a small business owner myself, right? So the struggles that business owners have in terms of, you know, needing capital, because you're always going to need some form of capital to move forward. I don't care if I'm working with someone or a business that's doing, $3 million a year, or someone who's barely making it. Everyone needs capital, especially to go to another level. And so it's been really tough. And so with that being in mind, I just saw it as a need to be able to do my part. And I dove in this industry really early on this year. January this year, I launched this. My background has been in financial services. So this is a piece that was missing, because just seeing the need for it. And I jumped in the industry and started learning and started partnering up with different providers and lenders that, can do the job. And it's been an amazing run. I've been welcomed with open arms in this industry, with people who I've aligned myself with that have been around for many years, and just been really blessed to have some people who have really shown me how effective this industry can be if you have the right products and the people that you're connected to. And
That's
so,
awesome.
yeah, I love what I do. And like I said, I love to see business thrive. And so this has been a great run, and I'm excited to be
Awesome.
here.
Well, we greatly appreciate you bringing this resource to the community across the East Bay, Sacramento, just being a resource to people. We're going to do our part to spread the word so people are aware that this option does exist, and for them to do the due diligence by either having a conversation with you and having a chance to learn about the possibilities, and more importantly, I hope people really take away that you truly care about the outcomes of the people that you serve, and in doing so, we create an ecosystem where all can win. So I really want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your sharing, and I look forward to further conversations in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, for, like I said, allowing me to be a part of this platform. The job that you're doing is incredible. And I love serving. And we are available in all 50 states too.
All right, yes, indeed. All 50 states. That's right, y'all. So, any of you are entrepreneurs out there, you know someone who's struggling, they may be coming against challenges. It could be with a CFI, it could be with a credit union, it could be with a bank. Just let them know that this option exists. We want to make sure that we are not encouraging any predatory lending. So it's good to go through people that move in their values and integrity. And Ms. Ronnette and her network of lenders represent that. And that's an option that we can have in our back pocket, because there's no stigma when you're running a business of having challenging times. Cash flow may be tight. It's not about saving face for people who aren't helping you feed your family. It's about doing what you need to do to keep your doors open. So please educate yourself on this wonderful option and see what's possible. And for anyone that is looking for information on access to capital, if you come to the CoBiz Richmond website, www.cobizrichmond.com, and you click on programs/events, you can see a range of information from grants for small businesses, traditional lenders, alternative lenders, information on business credit. If you have any issues dealing with discrimination with banks, steps you can take, and then making sure we're aware of the Community Reinvestment Act and how we can leverage that as a resource to serve our communities. With all that said, we appreciate everyone's time, and I hope that you walk away with something valuable today. Thank you again.
Thank you, Wesley.
All right.